Alright, so moving on from the last video, once you've double-clicked and copied your Census to Schools and downloaded that, and you've also double-clicked and copied your student questionnaire and PDF, I would like you to go into your Tuva Labs, and then we're going to upload new dataset. And you'll see from computer, again clicking from computer, and then uploading the Census to Schools Excel document into there. And if you click on My Uploads and go into the Census to Schools document, you'll see that it's a very, very large data set. Now, I'd like you to leave that for the moment because we're going to come back to that in the next lesson. So I'd like you to open up the Census to School Excel document. And what you'll see is something that's very similar to this. So what I'd like you to do is go down to the scroll bar, click on the scroll bar and drag all the way to the left. Once you've done that, up the top, instead of Q18 soft drinks, you'll see Q1 or Q time. I'd like you to click on that, press your Shift key, and then using your right arrow, drag all the way to Q32. Once you've done that, I'd like you to right click and then copy. And then I'd like you to paste it into your book 1. So now I'm just going to do that in mine. You won't be able to see it on my screen. So clicking on Q time in A1, scrolling all the way to the right until I hit the last question, which is Q31 heart rate. Right clicking copy. And now I'm opening up a new, so file, new, and then blank workbook. I'm using the online version, you can use the version on your computer. Control V or pasting into A1 in your new Excel document. And then I'd like you to go through and start answering those questions so that we can create a class questionnaire, so that we can create our own data from that questionnaire. So now some of the questions are obvious, so you might put in sex female or male. And then you get to some really obscure questions. Now you need to go into, scrolling back out, you actually need to go into the student questionnaire. And when you open the student questionnaire, you'll actually see all the questions and what the question's actually asking you. So I'd like you to go through and answer as many questions as possible. And if you don't feel comfortable with some questions, like example putting in your postcode, you don't have to. We can work from other data. So answering all of those questions. And then that's where we left off in the lesson. For the students that are joining us, what I'd like you to do is go back into your Tuva dataset. And I want you to start thinking about your dependent and independent variables. Now, I might say that height is dependent upon your sex. And I might say that men are always taller than women. It's not necessarily true, but it's just something that I think I might see in my data set, or I might infer from my data set. Now, Tuva Labs will organize your data. What I'd like you to do for this one is go into box plot with outliers. And then you could go into your stats, and maybe I might want to find the mean value for each of my heights for male and female. So the mean value for height in females is 166 centimetres, and for males it's 177 centimetres. So in that case, my inference or my hypothesis was correct. It's not always the case. You can see that there are a few outliers, like in the females, you can see that the height of one of the participants, or case 371, is 253 centimeters. And that might be a clerical error, or it might actually be their height, you're not sure, but you can take those out later. So we'll be doing that in our next lesson. So I hope that answered your questions, and if you have any other ones, please feel free to email me, and I look forward to seeing you on Monday. Thanks, bye.